We good?
You worked around a lot of walks tonight. Were you pleased with getting out of there with no runs? Maybe just make some pitches when you had to?
Yeah, I guess the first walk, I got a double play, and then I walked the next hitter, and then really I think in the sixth there it kind of got a little hairy because it was wet, the ball was slick. It was hard for me to control his pitches. I was basically just trying to throw strikes. But really, I mean, I felt like I had really good command of the zone. I mean, for the most part, I think Murph did a really good job. We made a lot of good pitches. I think he challenged me a lot. Backdoor two-seamers, a lot of those. I think we did a really good job glove side. And the curveball was playing up today. Mixed in that little cutter wasn't great today, but the changeup performed well. So it's like if you're not giving up a ton of hard hit, and you can kind of afford to try to make pitches, and I think that's basically what we did today. I think in an ideal world, it's like you don't walk five guys. And especially that last inning, I wish I was more efficient because, maybe I could have gone out for the seventh.
Charlie, you guys feel like to have better than 3 and 4 homestand, but how do you assess the last week, and does it feel like this team is kind of getting closer to pulling itself out of?
Yeah, so it's like I can kind of sense it in the clubhouse a little bit. It's just we're not rolling. And I think that the majority of the guys in there have been here for the past few years, so we know what that feels like, right? And I think that's the problem. It's like you look at our record, and if you just look at us on paper, you're like, man, we're playing okay, right? But I think because we know what it feels like to be ourselves and what we know we're capable of, that's where it's tough. Because we don't feel that way. We're not feeling like everything's clicking, firing all cylinders, so to speak. And I think that's the trouble. I don't think I've been on some teams where I could sense that we were in trouble. And I don't feel like that in there. I don't feel like that's a room that's going to allow that to happen. The guys are the quality of people in there is just too good.
Do you feel like if your team starts to hit anywhere even close to last year's standards with the pitching that you're getting, especially the starting rotation, that this team can do some special things in the next 2/3 of the season, the last 2/3 of the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's June 2nd, so it's there's a lot of baseball left. There's 4 months to go, and we basically have the same team that we've had. And I think we have a great team. I don't know why 2 months of baseball would make us change our opinion of ourselves, especially when we're not playing that badly. So I don't know. I'm not looking at it like that. I haven't heard guys in there speak that way or act that way. Like we have to dig out of something. I think it's more of just the cadence, so to speak, maybe the rhythm of the days of the games, and it kind of feels off. That's the only thing, as I would say. It just feels like we just haven't hit our stride. But I mean, you look at that roster and you look at what the guys in there have done in the past few years. There's no doubt how good the team is.
Charlie, you talked about not being able to hit the stride. You guys haven't gotten it rolling yet. How much do you put into just maybe a mental toll of seeing what happened to Ronald? So it's still fresh, only been a week. You guys haven't had a day off to kind of digest. How much does that play a part, maybe just for these last 7 games? Yeah,
well, I think if you've been around long enough, that guys go down, and it might be an MVP caliber position player, it might be a Cy Young caliber starting pitcher like we had happen this year. But at the end of the day, we all each have a job to do. We have to pick each other up, and we have to be people that can not only rely on other people but can be relied on as well. So that's where I think that's where the guys are, and that's why I mentioned like the character of the people in there, and I think that's where this team can separate itself, because a lot of the times when you don't have that chemistry in the clubhouse, those skids, those 2, 3, 4 game skids can turn into 10-game skids, and you never bounce back. And I just don't see that with the team. I mean, I can see it. I mean, it can happen. I'm not saying it can't happen, but at the same time, you know, an injury here, an injury there. We've had that before. We've had that the past since I've been here and since 21, and we've still managed to play really, really good baseball.
You mentioned picking people up. Chris struggled yesterday, and then throw 6 scoreless innings. Did that play any sort of role in your mindset today, like what happened yesterday at all?
No, I just don't. I don't really like to pay attention to how other guys perform and let that affect what I'm doing. I'm really just trying to be honestly just like a good teammate. And I mean, I know how good Chris is, and I know the kind of pitcher that he is, the kind of person that he is. And really, I'm just a fan. And I'm so when I get the ball, it's like, you know, I think maybe when I was younger, you might let the ups and downs affect you a little bit more. You know, it's like try to do more, try to do less. I really don't know, but at this stage of my career, I know what I have to do to go out and execute pitches and implement a game plan. And if I don't do that, or I do that, it's really not because of because someone else did well or didn't. I like watching our guys throw. I like watching our guys play. And, you know, Chris has thrown in a ton of not only games but big games, and I've been fortunate enough to watch him across the way and now be his teammate. And I think that's what's important to me, not you know, feeling like I have to step up. And I'm sure other guys do. I don't.
Damn it, Charlie, stand here?
Yes, you must have. Well, what'd you think of Charlie? Only give up 1 hit, gave up 5 walks, but worked out of trouble.
Yeah, no, I thought, you know, his stuff was pretty good, really good. You know, I just kind of like the fast start that he got on, because we needed him to cover innings. So, no, that was really good.
Stan, you guys would have liked better than a 3 and 4 homestand, but does it feel like there's some things to build off of? How do you look at it?
Yeah, no, I was feeling really good till you said that. I didn't even know. No, I think there's a lot of positives. I felt really good coming in today after last night, and just, you know, I looked through individually and see a lot of positives, quite honestly, with some guys offensively, which is what we've been trying to do. We haven't been playing bad baseball. We've been playing good baseball. We just haven't hit. And I see light at the end of the tunnel right there out of a bunch of guys, quite honestly.
Kellenick got another hit today. Is he one of those guys?
Yeah, no, he's had some really good at-bats. And, you know, even off all the left-handed pitching that he's seen. Like where he is, I think Austin's getting there, Matt, all of them, Michael. You know, I think there's, Ozzie got a big hit today. So, yeah, I see a lot of really good things out of the offense. And the good thing is these guys have been struggling offensively, and they've just been playing the heck out of defense. We've been playing such good defense, especially in the infield and outfield. And, you know, so I say it's hard to, from my seat, you know, it's just the hitting thing's going to come. You know, I can't go in there and blow anything up because we're not playing bad baseball. We're playing good baseball. We're just not hitting.
You mentioned Matt. I mean, it's now, 3 weeks that he looks like himself.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's swinging the bat really well. I think Austin's really close to going on one of his runs. You know, that ball he hit the last at bat was a scud. You know, and when you're going good, that ball finds a gap and he clears the bases. So, yeah, it's, you know, he's getting back synced up, and hopefully, you know, that one that fell in for Murph is just the kind of thing to get somebody going, too.
Anything else?
Schwellenbach will be starting game 2 in Boston.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you hear Waldrop today?
Yeah, Ben was just telling me how good he did today. That's really encouraging too.
Two guys have thrown
And
a lot
also, he
of
said Dylan Dott threw the real ball really well today too, and coming in behind him. So that's kind of neat too to look at that, you know.
Nice to see two young guys that were flowing by
Yeah.
Waldrop, who both throw a lot of strikes.
Yeah, no, it's really good, really good. I mean, it's encouraging. I say I'm excited to see Spence start again. You know, it's going to be a big, nice event for him to, you start a game at Fenway Park. That's pretty special. Okay, well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, all good. It's okay.
No, I'm good. I got nowhere to go. I mean, we're not leaving for a while.
I was going to follow up on Murphy's double. You were talking about how good fortune can kind of
Yeah.
get a guy going. Could it get a team going? Or?
I don't know about team. I think it's more that's kind of a more individual thing. The guys are struggling and they get fisted and one falls in and next thing you know they take a breathe a sigh of relief and they get they go off on a run more than a team.
I feel like you guys were kind of old one. We were talking yesterday about how many hard hit outs you hit.
Yeah, I know. Right. Yeah. Well, you know what? That stuff all evens out over 6 months. You go through periods, and that's why you always have to handle the bad, because at the end of that, if you handle the bad, on the back end of that is always really good. And we've experienced that here for a number of years.
All right.
Okay, thanks.